Hey everybody, this is JTech95, back again for another computer overview. I've been doing quite a few of those lately. I'm trying to change it up a little bit with going over hardware and things like that. I want to start doing software overviews as well and things like that. But today I wanted to showcase another machine. Actually, this is a brand that I really haven't done on this channel yet. If anybody has, dealt with personal computers back in the mid to late 90s, then you'll probably recognize the case behind me. And, well, it kind of gives it away, the name on the monitor. Yep, today we're going to be looking at a machine by Gateway 2000. Gateway 2000 was founded in 1985 in Sioux City, Iowa, and over the course of time, they became a world-renowned computer company, promising their customers high-quality computer systems, top-notch customer support, and great prices to top it all off.
And best of all, it's from Gateway.
Gateway 2000 was a huge player in the home PC market from the early 90s up into the mid-2000s. And 9 times out of 10, when you got one, it came with one of two things. In the mid-90s, 1993 to 1996, it came with either Windows 3.1 or Windows 95. Well, you could also get a Gateway 2000 computer preloaded with Windows NT if you were doing more business-oriented applications and jobs. And that's exactly what's loaded on this one. Now, Windows NT was originally released in 1993 as Windows NT 3.1. It had several iterations after that, Windows NT 3.5, and after that, the version we're going to be looking at today, NT 3.51. It had quite a few upgrades and enhancements over the previous versions of NT, and in my opinion, it's almost like running Windows 95, but with the Windows 3.1 shell. Now, we've dabbled with Windows NT before. A couple of videos prior, we dealt with Windows 2000 when we installed it on that Dell machine. And in the Windows XP LAN party a while ago, we used Windows XP. Speaking of that video, I'm actually really impressed at how many views that one has gotten. I was not expecting that one to be as popular as it is, but hey, no problem there. I have no complaints. Today we're going to be looking at a version of Windows NT that was just called that, Windows NT. NT stood for New Technology. It was a version of Windows that Microsoft specifically designed to be used with business and networking applications. It wasn't really meant for home use, at least not at the time. It wasn't until really Windows XP that the NT kernel became pretty much optimized for home use. Back then, a lot of people in business and having to do with networks, they got kind of tired of how buggy it was to get networking to work under Windows 3.1. Yeah, they had Windows for Work groups, and that was a big step, but it just wasn't enough. And stability problems were also a major concern. So Microsoft released Windows NT to combat a lot of these problems. It did not run on DOS. Windows NT had its own kernel, and it still does. The version of Windows that you're probably using today, if you're using a Windows machine, is built on Windows NT. Ever since Windows XP, every version of Windows has been built on the NT kernel. XP, Vista, 7, 8, 8.1, 10, and now Windows 11. And from what it sounded like, soon to be Windows 12. They're all based on the Windows NT kernel. Because after Windows ME, Microsoft pretty much did away with the DOS-based 3.1 and 9X kernels. They were buggy, they had stability issues, and some would say that at the time, Windows was built on a house of cards. I personally wouldn't say that. The way I like to say it is, Windows problems are a lot like car accidents. They're usually due to driver error. Sorry, that was kind of a crummy joke. But anyway, let's hop into this machine, see what's inside of it, get her booted up, and take a look at Windows NT. So as for the internals, we've got a pretty basic setup. We've got the motherboard, which is a Intel-based Gateway 2000 Pentium motherboard. We've got 48 megabytes of memory, which is kind of an odd number, but it's what I had laying around at the time. For network card, we've got an SMC Ultra Chip 83C790QF. The sound card is also pretty generic, just a standard Creative Sound Blaster 16 CT4520. The graphics card is a Matrox MGA PCI. Again, pretty standard stuff. And for a hard drive, we have a Seagate ST36-421A 6.4 gig hard drive. And of course, we have a CD-ROM drive and a 3.5 inch high-density floppy drive. And to go with the machine, we've got a pretty complete Gateway 2000 peripheral setup. We've got a 219600 model Gateway 2000 keyboard, a Gateway 2000 branded Microsoft mouse, and a Vivitron 17 CRT Gateway 2000 monitor. But now that we've looked inside the machine and looked at the peripherals surrounding it, let's boot it up and check out Windows NT 3.51. Alright, let's get this thing booted up. There we go, Gateway 2000 with a Pentium running at 133 megahertz. Okay, I guess it's got closer to 50 megabytes of RAM. There we go. OS Loader version 3.51. Please select the operating system to start. NT Workstation 3.51 or 351 in VGA mode. Okay, well, I guess we'll just do the standard one. Let me adjust my shutter speed really quick. Try to get some of the flickering out of there. Now it's kind of flickering on the screen, but filming CRTs is not the easiest job in the world, let me tell you. Eventually I want to get a better camera so I can do this a little better. That's a little bit better. Press Ctrl-Alt-Delete to log on, alrighty? There we go. Yeah, I borrowed the startup sound and shutdown sound from NT 4.0 when I was getting this thing reset up. When I got this machine, it originally had Windows 95 on it, but I already have a Gateway 2000 with Windows 95. I'll do a video on that one sometime in the future. But yeah, I put NT 3.51 on this one because I wanted something different, and also because I found out that these machines did come with it if you ordered them. So I figured, why not? Might as well have something a little different. Yeah, it's, for the most part, this operating system is very, very similar to Windows 3.1, with a few differences. Number one, this operating system is 32-bit rather than 16-bit, and two, you cannot play DOS games with NT, at least NT from this era. Because it was not built on top of DOS, you could not run MS-DOS based games. So unfortunately that means no Doom, no Duke Nukem, no nothing. But that's okay, because we have Microsoft Entertainment back with the Venerable Chips Challenge. And one of my personal favorites, Pipe Dream. A couple of neat things that NT came with was actually some things that are probably pretty familiar to those of you who have delved deep into Microsoft Windows, even present day. You had administrative tools like User Manager, Disk Administrator, Backup, Event Viewer, Performance Monitor, all sorts of things that really haven't changed all that much from current versions of Windows. Really quick, let's take a look at this. Introducing Windows NT. A demo by Accent Software Incorporated. This introduction demonstrates how to use the built-in networking, security, and workgroup features of Windows NT to make your job easier. Okay. Oh, your mouse will not be present during this. Okay, let's see. Connecting with other computers. Yeah, the basis of Windows NT really hasn't changed all that much. Yes, on the outside, Windows has changed quite a bit from its infancy in at least the Windows NT kernel, but a lot of things that exist nowadays were present in Windows NT 3.1, 3.5, and 3.51, such as the option to go over the computer services and adjust whether or not you want them to be automatic, disabled, or manually turned on by the user. This is something that you can find in present-day versions of Windows as well. And like I said, there are certain aspects of Windows NT 351 that are very resemblant to Windows 95. Like you go to the display settings. This is a lot closer to how Windows 95's display settings works, rather than Windows 3.1. I just thought that'd be an interesting thing to point out. But certain other parts, like the desktop settings, are actually exactly the same, just about, as Windows 3.1, with the addition of being able to have OpenGL screensavers. There we go, flying windows. I always liked that one. This version of Windows NT 3.51 actually has Service Pack 5. Yeah, Windows has been getting Service Packs as far back as Windows 3.1, I believe. If we go back to Administrative Tools directory and we go to Windows NT Diagnostics, you can use this to check on your OS version, hardware, memory, drivers, devices, environment, all sorts of other things that you can check out just to see what's going on your machine in the background. Really not an awful lot to see here, to be honest, but I just thought it'd be a neat little video to show an early version of Windows NT, considering every version of Windows that we use present day is based on NT. So let's shut this thing down. Please wait while the system writes unsaved data to the disk. It is now safe to turn off your computer. Alrighty. Well, that about wraps it up for the Windows NT 3.51 video on this Gateway 2000 P5-133. It wasn't the greatest video in the world, I'll be the first to admit that, but I just kind of wanted to, showcase it, and I hadn't done anything with Gateway 2000 before on this channel, as far as I remember. I mean, I did mention it on the History of Northgate Computers video I did some time back, but that video wasn't really about Gateway 2000 or any of its machines. That was just me mentioning their part in the downfall of Northgate Computer Systems. But yeah, I think this went pretty well. It ran smoothly. Other than some issues with some flickering on the monitor and some fiddling with the shutter speed and all that, I'd say it went pretty smoothly. I apologize for the video quality on that. I need to save up and get a better camera. Currently I've been using my phone, which has been doing the job, but I really want to get something a little better suited for this. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave me a comment if you have any questions or any remarks on the machine, or if you've had any past history with Gateway 2000's computers, which I'm sure quite a few people have. They were incredibly popular when I was growing up, and even before. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you'd like, if you want to see more videos like this. And if you liked what you saw today, why don't you hit that like button? I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, I hope to see you guys in the next episode, and I'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye.